Thanks for the introduction, Marley. I think what I've realized mostly is that my life so far, I haven't been that successful because this is my first ever acceptance speech. So bear with me, I'm kind of nervous. I have a lot of people to thank. First and foremost, my family. I have an amazing family. Sorry. I lost my dad in December, so it's been a little rough. But my mom's here, and my parents have sacrificed a lot for me so that I could ride my bike all over the world. The biggest sacrifice, though, for my mom has been missing Jeopardy. It's on TV right now, so if you know, you know. I want to thank my brother Joe, who is an amazing partner in crime. We're really close in age, and my little sister Bridget. But you know you have a good family when you decide to start shaving your legs and you haven't started shaving your face and they don't bat an eye, you know. So it's been a good run. I have to thank my wife. She's amazing. She used to be up here, to be honest, accepting that award. She's an amazing partner. She's an amazing coach. And I say that because she puts up with my incredible delinquency when it comes to workouts and non-compliance. But we couldn't be, I couldn't be happier to be sharing life with her. Marley mentioned the 2011 Unbound, where I was in a ditch. And I wouldn't have been in that ditch without Ben Delaney. I worked at Vela News at the time, and we literally had an editorial meeting. We sat around a big table and we pitched the craziest ideas that we thought people would read. And I said, hey, I've heard about this underground event in the middle of Kansas where people ride 200 miles. And Ben didn't say I should go and cover it. He said I should go and do it. And it suddenly seemed like a much worse idea. But I really appreciated his gonzo style of participatory journalism. He is a real journalist. And he continues to do that today, and I want to thank Ben for that. Absolutely. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, The Ride with Ben Delaney, make sure you subscribe, like, etc. When I then started preparing to come to Emporia for the first time, I reached out to the fine folks at Salsa Cycles. Gravel wouldn't be gravel without salsa, in my opinion. And people like Kid Reamer and Joe Miser and Jason Gaikowski, Tim Eck, they welcomed me. They gave me a place to stay, a support crew, a bicycle. At the time, it wasn't a gravel bike. This predates gravel bikes. And most importantly, Tim Eck sat down and watched Red Dawn with me the day before the event so I could calm my nerves and unpack half of the inner tubes I had put on my bike. I want to thank Ted Costantino. He worked at VeloPress, and he taught me how to write a book. And I think a pretty good one, mostly because of Ted. And the entire crew there. That book, as Marley mentioned, really allowed me to not only interview people who I consider heroes, John Stamstead comes to mind, there are others, but also explore these events and really get to know more of this community because it continues to grow, thankfully, I think every day, and there's a lot of community worth exploring here, especially as a native Hoosier and a Midwesterner. Gravel is so cool because for a long time it wasn't cool to be a Midwesterner, and it is decidedly cool to be from the Midwest at this point, especially if you're from Kansas and this town of Emporia. Once I got on the ground here, first of all, I was shocked. There weren't a lot of places to eat in 2011. I went to Bobby D's. If you don't know, this town is buzzing. And I think it's in no small way due to us. It's something we can all be incredibly proud of, where a lot of towns are shuttered. This town it's just incredible. It's incredible to see what Christy and others here have done. And I want to thank the Lifetime crew, because when I did get on the ground, Leland Danes and Christy Moan and Jim Cummins and Tim Moan and others who worked here made me feel so incredibly welcome. And that's hard to do when you're wearing a white Lycra Vela News kit in what's going to be a really muddy event. So I want to thank them because they've really done something incredible here. I thank Shimano because they pay me. No, because they saw the promise in gravel pretty early on, and really, really passionate people work at Shimano. And I know that's not always obvious. It's interesting being a marketing person at Shimano because we are the 800-pound gorilla, you know, and I want you all to know that I'm not special at Shimano. There are incredible people working at Shimano, Meredith and Ryan and so many others, Justin Hawkins, and they entrust me to spend their money and invest in the future of gravel. And that is an incredible honor. So I want to thank my team and everyone at Shimano. When I learned that I was being inducted, I had this kind of natural period. I think it's a natural period of reflection. And I thought about the state of gravel. And looking around this room, first of all, I have to say, we look really good. I mean, really good. So let's give ourselves a hand. But the biggest thing that stood out to me is that we hear this talk of the spirit of gravel or peak gravel or all of these things that the pundits want to talk about. And the thing that really hits home for me is that I think we're just getting started. This is just the start of something that will continue to grow and morph, and I have zero doubt continue to be utterly amazing. Because people, as we've seen through the words of Linda and Celine and Jay, we give ourselves to it. And we're awesome. But I do think there are some risks. I think that we risk rigid thinking and thinking that it has to be something because we think it has to be something. And I think we need to make space and continue to open it up to new ideas. That's what made this whole thing happen. Were new ideas, and ideas that were way outside the box that didn't seem possible, like 200 miles of gravel. And I think we also need to actively cultivate and encourage youth. And I know that's something everyone can get behind and maybe sounds a little cliche and obvious, but it's easy for people once in a position of influence to want to hold on to that. And I think that something we can all do is try to give some of that influence away, just like Celine mentioned with Bill Strickland. So what I want to do is, if you'll permit me, I want to do that right now. I want to take a minute, and I want us all to think about ways that we can inject life and energy into this gravel community. And it's already full of it, but there's always room for more. This isn't a zero-sum game. So what I'd like to do, I want to pause. I want to take 3 deep breaths as a collective because I think it's hippie and cool. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to smile. And I want you to think about a way that you can help someone do something amazing, okay? So let's do that, all right? Let's close our eyes. Let's smile. Let's take a deep breath in and out. 2 more. All right, and if nothing else happened, I feel calmer, so thank you. If you didn't come up with an amazing idea, don't worry about it. I didn't either, because I'm, petrified at the moment. But what you can also do is kind of set a mindset for yourself, especially in this coming week, because you are going to meet someone this week. You're going to meet someone this week who can change gravel and make it amazing. And I want you to go about your week with that in mind. They might have the best idea you've ever thought of that you can steal and patent and then, no, that you can encourage and you can make gravel amazing. So I'll wrap by saying that I am incredibly humbled. It's awkward for me to be up here talking about myself in particular, but I'm honored. And to be up here alongside Celine and Linda and Jay is just, it's bizarre. It's bizarre, among other things. But thank you all so much. I want to reiterate what Jason said, which is to please participate in this process. Please nominate someone and take the time to really write an amazing nomination, because I wouldn't be here without the amazing nomination that Jason and Kristen wrote for me. So please take the time to do that. Thank you so much.